We are going to learn how to use the coil tool in Autodesk Inventor 2015, and what we want to do is make a slide that looks like a spiral slide. So I'm going to open a new part file and create a new sketch. Doesn't matter which plane you work, which work plane, but any plane is fine. We're going to start by drawing a couple lines, and this is going to outline how tall we want our spiral slide to be and how far apart from a center point we want these spirals to be. So after choosing the line tool, I'm going to draw a vertical line that's, let's say, 60 inches tall. So I can type 60 on my keyboard, press enter, I have a nice tall vertical line. Okay. Now I want to go out from the bottom, and I'm going to go 32 inches out. That looks like it's a pretty good distance. And I can say OK, and I have my two lines. So I know how tall I want it to be, and I know how far I want it to spiral out from that center point. Okay. Let's draw a circle on that last point we ended up, and it's going to spin around this point. My circle can be, I'm thinking 18 inches across would be a fine distance. And because I don't want it a solid coil, I am going to cut that circle in half by choosing a line tool and drawing a line that goes through the center of my circle. Okay. I can now use the scissors to trim off the top half of the circle, and I have this half circle shape that's going to spiral along a vertical axis. Looks good. I can finish sketch and click the home button to see everything that I've done, and I'm going to find the coil tool. Probably will be located under the sweep command, so if you see sweep, just click the drop down menu and find coil. Once I click that, it automatically highlights my half circle. Now I have to tell it which axis it wants to spiral around. So on the pop-up menu, I click the button by axis, and I'm going to click this vertical line. Circle tells me it's going to spin in that direction, and that's what I want. So I'm going to go to coil size, and I have two choices to make. Pitch is the distance between each spiral, and the revolution is how many times do I want it to spin around from top to bottom. I'm going to leave the revolution alone for now, and I want to make sure that there's enough distance between spirals so that it can actually be used as a spiral slide. I'm going to choose 16 inches per spiral, and we'll see how that works. Looks like it's going the wrong direction, so on my pop-up menu I go back to coil shape, and I can always have the axis switch so that it goes either above or below that horizontal line I drew. That was this button right here. Now that my coil is going the right way, I'm going to say that I want it to go around maybe 4 times. That looks pretty good. Maybe I can even go one more. 5 times it is. If I like the way things are looking, I can click OK, and now I have made a coil. Looks a little tight, so I might want to edit that. I can click on my spiral slide, and the left-hand button says Edit Coil. So maybe I do only want that to go around 4 times to give us a little more room. If I want, I can also taper this so that it doesn't have to just be straight up and down. I could say 15 degrees would give it a little more of a taper. And let's see how that looks. I like the way it looks. We can complete this and make it a slide by clicking the shell button, clicking on the surface of the slide, and it should shell out the entire slide from top to bottom. You will notice that the end pieces are still intact, so if I really want to open this up, I can click on the half circle on the end, use the circle tool to draw a circle slightly smaller than that shape. Then I can finish that sketch and extrude it into the slide that's there, and it'll open up that end so we can imagine somebody actually using it. I do the same thing at the very end so we don't go all the way down our slide and then crash. And there you go. That's a spiral slide.